everyone. It's 10:07, as you saw in the opening title card. I decided, if you hadn't noticed, to put those at the beginning now all the time. Anyhow, we wanted to get started earlier, but we didn't get a quite ideal sleep last night. The Walmart was very quiet, and I fell asleep rather quickly, but then at 3 o'clock our carbon monoxide alarm went off, because it seems to randomly do that with little to no connection to whether or not there's actually something going on for it to be set off about. For some reason, at 3 o'clock in the morning, the Walmart seemed rather noisy, and some of the RVers and/or truckers that were there in the parking lot with us were leaving around that time, so I had a lot of trouble falling back to sleep, meaning I didn't want to get out of bed. I woke up around 6:30, so we're not setting forth until just now. But now we're on our way to Lava Beds National Monument back in Northern California, the last California park that we're going to be doing at this season in the RV trip. The only other ones we've missed are a couple that are in San Francisco and LA, so we don't want to drive the RV downtown in those places for semi-obvious reasons. Apparently we missed the turn off for Lava Beds, ended up about 50 miles off course, but luckily it was on the way to another place, so we just decided to come to Crater Lake National Park today. That's the visitors center. We went inside, watched the video, and asked for suggestions for things to do. At 1,943 feet deep, Crater Lake is either the 3rd or 9th deepest lake in the world, depending on whether you take that, its deepest point, or the average depth of the entire thing. It's also famed for its very clear blue water, some of the purest in the world, holding the record for clarity. Now we're going to go see it on the 33-mile rim drive that takes you around the top of the volcano that formed this lake. Yes, this is yet another volcanic park. It's easy to forget the Pacific coast is part of the infamous Ring of Fire, but it is. And as you've undoubtedly noticed by now, the hand of Vulcan can be seen in many of the striking formations this side of the country. Here's a waterfall with a confusing name. Crater Lake was formed by the collapse of Mount Mazama, estimated to have occurred around 7,700 years ago. A series of violent volcanic eruptions drained the magma chamber beneath the 12,000-foot mountain, causing the peak to collapse into the base from the lack of support, forming this crater several thousand feet deep.
Well, you're a Packers fan, so I hope not either. I said, you're not my wife. She goes, I hope not. Yep.
I thought it was a castle. Like a castle in an island.
Well, I guess you could call it Phantom Castle.
Yes, I got it.
That there's the old man of the lake. A little log that's been floating there since at least 1896. Well, not in that exact spot. It moves around quite a bit.
Is it that little thing that's like right there?
Yeah, it must be.
I can see.
I was looking way looking though. It's the same black speck.
These fossilized fumaroles stand about 100 feet high to the southeast of the caldera. This canyon was formed by a flow of mud, ash, and pumice from the explosion. And when gases trapped beneath shoot up, the intense heat and pressure would fuse the flotsam into these spectacular structures. Then, over time, erosion would wash away the pumice and other materials from around these hot cones, revealing them. Dusty, windy area. Make sure to bring your best steampunk goggles to also fit the landscape. It seems we accidentally exited the park. There's the boundary stick for it, and what appears to be an old national park sign that no longer exists. I forgot to mention this yesterday, but technically this is my first time in Oregon, and except for trips to Seattle and the surrounding area to visit my dad when he lived there, the Pacific Northwest in general. I say technically because also I did camp in Oregon at least once, according to my dad, but I don't remember it. When people ask which state I liked the most so far on our trip, and I say that Maine had the best weather and explain that I liked it because it was nice and cool and lots of wind and rain, everyone always says that I probably really like the Pacific Northwest because it's like that. But it most certainly is not right now. It's very hot. Though this area has a nice breeze. The nicety of that breeze is somewhat mitigated by the billions of dust particles in the air that get in your eyes and mouth and everything else. It's now 15:09. We're at the Pumice something or other overlook. Actually, I don't think this is that place. I think this is just an overlook.
Or is that?
No, I don't think so. Although it might be kind of surprising to see snow in a place near the end of July. Well, I guess technically it's only mid-July, but still, it's not quite as surprising when you realize that the average snowfall for this area is 44 feet a year, which, if you work it out, would average to 1.5 inches every single day year-round. This is the Pumice Overlook. That right there is the Pumice Castle, another formation formed underground and revealed by erosion. These and the pinnacles are kinda, sorta like lava tufa.
Alright, should we do your ship overlook now?
No. Yes. Why can't we get back to your wings back already?
When we get back to the place.
This is Cloud Cap Overlook, home of the highest paved road in Oregon. And that is the caldera of Mount Scott, now the highest point in the park. Right up there is a little fire watch tower that you can actually hike to if you so choose and see the valley from the highest point in it. And this is the view from the other side of Cloud Cap. Actually, this point is the overlook with the highest paved road in the state of Oregon. That other thing was just a pullout. Now at the Watchman Overlook, we shall recommence scripted mode. Gazing at the calm serenity that is the extinct cinder cone forming Wizard Island, it's hard to believe that the main caldera is still technically an active volcano. The last eruption was over 4,000 years ago. The geology beneath Crater Lake National Park is still very much alive. It could recommence its rumblings at any moment. No worries though. Modern seismographic techniques and knowledge enable scientists to detect volcanic activity and order evacuations long before an eruption occurs. Or so they say. Anyhow, there's no doubt that things have gotten much more sophisticated since John Hillman, the gold prospector, became the first white man to lay eyes on this, quote, deep blue lake in 1853. We've elected to end our tour of the rim with shots from Discovery Point. Near here was the spot where Mr. Hillman first crossed into this caldera and beheld the grand wonder hidden within. From his first look to our last, Crater Lake National Park continues to inspire generations of explorers with its pristine beauty. I knew when I gazed upon Crater Lake that even though the West was filled with undiscovered wonders, Crater Lake would hold its own. But now, at 1748, we must be on our way back south to Klamath Falls for the night so we can get up tomorrow and get back on track. VM.
That's a pretty good view of this diamond.